So here's an exercise I like to do that incorporates lip slurs and pedal tones, and it stretches across from pedal tones into the low mid register of the bass trombone. I've got my metronome set at 72, no, 80. That's a little bit better. I'm trying to do this exercise in one breath. So each repetition is just one breath, ideally. I may have to speed up later on as the notes get lower and the breath requirement gets higher. So let's do this. I'll demonstrate. All right, I got to speed this up a little bit. The breath requirement's getting pretty high. Metronome is at 90. metronome up just a touch. I'm going to slow it down so I can focus on note clarity, but I'm going to take a breath in the middle of this. That is it. That's one of my favorite exercises. It's really challenging. It's really demanding of a couple of things. It's demanding of your air support, how engaged you are with the embouchure, but also how relaxed you are to facilitate nice and good low playing. Because if you're too engaged, it's not going to come out very nicely. Another thing is how centered you can play as you slur across the partials. So that's something that's still challenging, very challenging for me. And you've definitely heard it during this exercise. Some of the partials aren't perfectly in the center, and some of them are. And yeah, that's an ongoing battle for me. But nevertheless, it's good to work on, and it's a good exercise for that, I think. And what else? A little bit of slide position memorization, because you need to be trying to hit this with good intonation. This time around, I didn't look at my tuner. I had the metronome on, and I forgot to switch over to the tuning side. But I often find myself doing this with a tuner, which I think is very beneficial. The long tone exercise I definitely do with a tuner because it's a lot of repetition, and I want to get the correct distance in my ear and in my hand and my eyes, so that I'm very much paying attention to where the slide's going, because I want that to be second nature. What else does this exercise focus on? Air, embouchure engagement and relaxation, hitting notes in the center, good slide position, good slide technique. Little tidbit number 5. If your slide is too slow, then this exercise gets really gummy and really mushy. Although this is kind of a tricky exercise for it, because we're focused on so many things that it's likely that one thing will suffer. So slide technique it's still very important to us, right? Because that's the whole thing with this instrument, is slide technique. But on an exercise like this, where there are so many other really important aspects for me to focus on, I'm trying not to say that I get lazy with my slide technique, because I don't do it on purpose per per se, you know, but if it happens, I'm not going to cry about it later because I have exercises that I do for slide technique to get slide technique nice and fast, like the air exercise that I posted a couple days ago, the air in the slide and the tonguing in the slide. That's a fantastic exercise to do daily to focus on slide technique and coordination. And I think that's a lot more effective to focus on slide technique and coordination during an exercise like that than it is to try to think of all these other things and slide technique and coordination with an exercise like what I just played. So anyway, different strokes for different folks. If you're able to focus on everything under the sun while you play this exercise, groovy. If you're like me and one thing is likely going to suffer, then just add an exercise to supplement what suffers for you. Anyway, I hope you find this exercise useful. I will continue to post exercises that I find very useful for me in hopes that they help you in your journey. Happy practicing and see you next time.